going. Makakuvu Ali El Bey, liwebtv.com, 110 channel internet television network, coming to you out of Freeport, New York, which is our headquarters. Right now we're on location at the waterfalls in Lake Ronkonkoma, and I have with me a very interesting young man who is from the United States, but he lives in Brazil. Amar Mansoor, Amar Mansoor, as he has chosen to use his Brazilian name. And you just saw him in his capoeirista form. And Amar has a very unique project that he's working on in Brazil. Why don't you tell us about that, Amar?
The project I have in Brazil is called Guerreiros da Luz. It translates as Warriors of Light. It's a non-profit, grassroots after-school program for young kids geared at risk youth, but of course we accept any child that wants to come. The greatest thing about it is from the age of 6 to 12, any classes that are allowed to, that we have available are taken for free. From 12 or 13 to about age 17, the children have to do some kind of community service or something, some kind of help for somebody in the community that allows them to take classes. Then when they hit 18, they give a monthly donation that allows for the other children coming up behind them to continue taking classes.
How did you get involved with this project, Guerreiro da Luz, Warriors of Light?
It was a project that it kind of spun off of my trips down to Brazil when I first started going down there in 1998 with Abadá Capoeira group that I was with. I'm now with a group of Capoeira Brazil and the Mestre Boneco. When I got there, I noticed the poverty situation with the young children. At that time in 1998, there were 44,000 homeless children in the streets of Rio de Janeiro alone, and that was a shocking fact to me, and it really put my life into perspective. And since then, I started to dedicate my life to helping those children there and basically throughout the world.
What was the impetus for your involvement in youth coming out of the United States? And your martial arts training began where?
My martial arts training began at a very young age with my father, also with the late Sensei George Cofield, also Moses Powell, under Shotokan Karate and the Sanukashu Jiu-Jitsu system. And my teaching experience started about maybe 10 or 12, the Jackie Robinson Foundation, Leadership 2000, and just the various things that we did as a family in the community in Long Island and also Brooklyn, New York, and sometimes in Queens.
What is your overall objective as you continue to move forward developing your project Guerreiro da Luz? I know that you have done a number of things on the West Coast in California.
Yes.
How do you envision growing your project through Brazil and California?
My vision for Guerreiros da Luz, for Warriors of Light, is an international youth camp where we can take children from different walks of life and different cultures. For example, we can take 5 children from India, 5 children from South Central Los Angeles, and 5 children from Brazil, the south of Brazil, or Salvador, Bahia, and bring them together in a positive environment where they're learning different martial arts, languages, sciences, and also just playing. What my vision beyond that is, once these children get into that space where they are crossing cultural boundaries and national boundaries without any biases, they can bring that sense of oneness and global unity to their communities where they live and pass that on to the other children in the community around them.
Now, the area where you live in Brazil, talk to us about that. Tell us how unique it is and what that living space means to you, and the fact that you speak fluent Portuguese.
Where I live in Brazil is a little island called Morro de Sao Paulo. It's in Bahia, which is in the northeast of Brazil. It's about 2.5 hours southeast off the coast of the mainland of Salvador. And it's a beautiful island. It's preserved. It's a national Atlantic forest, so it's nationally preserved by law. There are only allowed 15 cars on the island, so everywhere you go you have to walk. And what it is kind of a microcosm of the world, because it also is a tourist attraction. So you get many people from different walks of life coming to this one space just to enjoy life. What's unique about it is that everybody there, it's like a family because it is an island. So me being an African American and speaking fluent Portuguese, I'm accepted as family by the native Brazilians on the island, by the Italians on the island, by the Argentinians on the island, by the Israelis who come to the island. And it's just a unique space because from there you can touch the entire world.
There are a number of things that you have shared with us about Salvador, particularly the Palombes, the posts.
Pelourinho.
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 Yeah.
Talk to us about what they are.
Pelourinho, the word Pelourinho means whipping post, technically. And you'll see a couple of them straddled around Salvador, Bahia. The Pelourinho, the place, is the old town center of Salvador. It's where the commerce was first created. It's in the upper city on the hill, just off of the coast of the port of entry. And what's unique about it is the energy that it holds. It's a very African village. It's very small, just like everything else. And it's a microcosm. But it holds on to a lot of tradition. Also, there's not a lot of through traffic with cars, but you can find everything from samba dancing to percussion factories to Catholic churches to capoeira schools, culinary schools. You've even got a couple of well-known actors and actresses who live there.
What were the Pelourinhos used for?
The Pelourinhos, the whipping posts, were used for public whippings during the slave trade in Brazil, which was lasted longer and ended a lot more recently than the slave trade in the United States.
The last thing I want you to speak about is your attachment with the people in Brazil, Bahia, and Salvador particularly, and how that manifests with your spiritual consciousness.
That's a deep question. That's a good one. Okay, so we're going to take it to a large scale and bring it in smaller. Looking at Brazil, the country, Brazil as a country is 52% Afro-descendant, which means that half of the country is of African descent. Taking it to a smaller circumference, Bahia is where most of the concentration of Africans in Brazil are. For the 1 million slaves that were brought to the United States, 3 million were brought to Brazil's coast because of the distance between Africa and Brazil was a lot shorter, and the current actually coming out of the Gulf of Africa swings you right into the tip of Brazil. So whereas it would take 6 months, let's say, I don't know how long it would take, back then, but where it would take 6 months to get to the United States, it would take 3 to get to Brazil from Africa. What drew me in spiritually and consciously with the people there was the sense of being at home that I felt when I got there. It's to see everybody smiling in spite of a lot of poverty, because there is a lot of poverty, and to be accepted just as a brother, you know, and without any kinds of ulterior motives. After, you know, they got to know me, of course, when they first found out that I was American, there was that gringo, rich guy, you know, feel. But once they realized that I was just a normal guy, everything opened up as if it was an oyster. To being accepted in the Candomblé community, which is the African religion that's there, to being accepted in the Protestant and also Catholic parts of the religions. Basically, just be accepted everywhere that I go. It opened my eyes and my heart, and I found a part of me in my spirit that I didn't know existed.
Capoeira Brazil and Capoeira Angola are two different types of capoeira with the same root. Give us a little history on that. Capoeira. There's a mestre named Mestre Pastinha who says capoeira é tudo que a boca come, which means capoeira is everything the mouth can eat. Capoeira, there are technically three types of capoeira. There's capoeira regional, capoeira Angola, and capoeira contemporânea, as they would say, which just means contemporary capoeira, which really anything is contemporary if you're practicing it at the moment. The differences in the styles: one, capoeira Angola holds on to more of the African roots. Capoeira regional was created in 1925 by Manuel Reis Machado, who created the regional fight of Bahia to stop it from being persecuted and introduce it into a mainstream society as an actual structured martial art. Before that happened, it was just capoeira. And today, I believe there's still just capoeira. The history of capoeira itself is capoeira was created by African slaves who were brought to Brazil as they mixed in with the different cultures and tribes of the Africans that came in, and also with the native Tupi Brazilian Indians. And they created this mix of dance and song, to where they discovered, when they added some of the African martial arts to the dance and the song, they made a martial art that can be disguised as the dance. So they would, since they were allowed to have their parties and their get-togethers and sing and dance and play their music, within that section of time, they realized they could also create and practice this martial art, unbeknownst to the slavers and the capitães de mato, who were like the police of that day. Whenever the slave owners would come around, they'd change it to samba da roda, which is the samba that we know today from Brazil, and they'd start dancing, and they'd come and say, oh, these guys are dancing, and they'd even start clapping, you know, to edge them on. And as they went back, then they would go back to practicing their martial art. I want to thank Amar Mansoor for coming on this program.
Thank you.
Which is the Martial Arts and Healing Arts Seminar. And I want to thank our clapping audience who participated in providing the rhythm while he did his capoeira. I'm Makakuvu Ali El Bey, LI Web TV, 110 channel internet television network. See you again.
Cover's on, brother.
That's what it is. Thank you.
Yes, sir, brother. Okay. Greetings, brother.
Greetings, brother. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. What's going on, my good man?
I'm good, brother. I wanted to get you talking to my viewing audience. This is Baratunde of Forgotten Foods.
Yes, sir. The Forgotten Foods was made for my family, for my people, because we have to embrace our own life insurance. So I made these formulas for my family, for myself, the best of the best herb I can find for my formulas. These are bone marrow food. So when you feed the bone marrow, you feed every aspect of the body. So you want to make sure that the minds of the food, the minds of the cells are fed. So you clean and vitalize the blood. You also fortify the immune system. And you got to feed the mind and the cells intelligence stimulation. And that's what the Forgotten Foods is all about.
Forgotten Foods, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Urban Action Showcase with Baratunde.
Yeah, so we're getting ready to make some things happen. All right. I'm going to stay in touch with you this time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely want to come on this.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. We got 50 boys that I mentored. And they'll love having you there, man.
You know, we should.
Ginseng. Got a boogie for you, man.
Seafood Allen Goldberg, Grandmaster Sugar Crosser, Grandmaster Lamar Thornton.
And see, look, they can't get in, and they give up. So like, give up. I mean,
Hey, how's it going, brother?
Us, Urban Action Showcase.
Absolutely.
Grandmaster Mike.
It's going down.
Kalindi, Kupigana martial arts system, African martial arts.
Most guys over here in the martial arts guys, I want to make sure that I can well, actually we met, but I want to say that we together.
To tell us who you are. That's never been done before. So, who wants to introduce who? Okay, who you introduce?
The man next to me.
Okay, let me hear you do it.
All right, this is Robert.
Oh, wait, you know what? See that thing right there? By the way, this brother here did two.
Am I supposed to grab one of these?
Grab one. He did two sold-out performances at Carnegie Hall. Besides being a major Wudang Tai Chi master and a Ling Guard master, he's a fantastic musician.
Yep.
So, two sold-out performances at Carnegie Hall. Three, excuse me. See, I'm late. So anyway, I preempted you a couple introductions. But anyway, so introduce Mr. Sanders, actually.
This gentleman to my right.
Yes, sir.
Is Robert, aka Bobby Sanders.
Okay.
A veteran Hong Kong film actor, filmmaker, action choreographer, and we were actually in Hong Kong at the same period of time during.
When was that?
Late 80s, or like I was there 88. You were there.
Late 80s, 90s.
Right. Except both of us were doing film there. He under the auspices of Sammo Hung, and but we actually never met while we were in Hong Kong.
Mr. Ron Van Cleef, the original Black Dragon. His films for Sarah from Carolines during the 70s. I mean, I grew up on those films. Those films are what motivated me to go to Hong Kong.
Urban Festival Legend Celebrity Panel will occur upstairs at Exhibit Hall B. Again, at 12 p.m. the upstairs then Exhibit Hall B.
Once again in English, please. I'm sorry, continue, brother.
No problem. So again, Grandmaster Ron Van Cleef.
Excuse me, at 1 p.m.
Well, I'm almost speechless because this is like my bucket list, finally meeting this lady.
Put your back close to your mouth, thank you.
It's like my bucket list, finally meeting this lady. I was in love with her back in the and 90s.
That's a long list, bro. That's a long list.
But she's a
Can I please have her attention at 1 p.m.
And years ago, she didn't know it. I never
Mike,
met her
please,
until-
Mike.
I never met her until yesterday. But she's a very special lady. She's a martial artist. She studied with some of my friends in California. And my two loves were Cynthia Rothrock and
What you got, true confessions?
That's right.
Now you got it.
I mean, if I was born a woman, I would want to be one of these two or both. Because they're very special.
All right, that's nice, man.
They're really part of the history of film and martial arts and acting and art and just a wonderful combination. Very special, super special. That's all I can say. Really. It's my honor to be here.
So Gloria,
Especially
you were more in acting, so you know the martial art community well? Because I know they're using, maybe not. Do you know anybody else before this evening on this panel?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Other than that, no. Because I'm from the 70s. I'm from really, I would say,
I'm with you.
yes, I think we're the same.
Yes, we are.
I am from the 70s. The movie that first of all, let me address this. I'm so happy to be a part of your bucket list. I couldn't be more flattered.
There's a lot of rooms here, you know.
Listen, just the idea of being, you're too much, but just the idea of being a part of his bucket list is just wonderful. And at this age, to be even wanted is great. But to move forward, to say that I'm speaking to the ladies, to say that we, as far as martial arts is concerned, martial arts is one of the greatest forms to get us in shape, to build our egos as far as our confidence level, to give us the strength and the wherewithal to take care of ourselves, and instead of always thinking that, oh, we need a...
Called the Museum of the Moving Image. And so each month I invite different films and filmmakers to come in afterwards. For example, I was very happy to have Tony Jaa show me one of his films. I had the entire cast of Raid Redemption. It was amazing. So this man right here taking pictures told me, do you know Maurice Crump? I said, no, Renee, I don't know Maurice Crump. He's
Oh man, okay. Hey, look at him, just.
And you know what, I'm gonna tell you, I know he don't like what I read, but he got into Harvard Business School, a perfect school.
And so Grace was amazing. Her son